Racing takes place at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth on Saturday, the 25th of February 2023. It is racing on the summer course, and we do have the Cape Derby in store, and looking forward to that contest. It's going to be an absolutely cracking contest. Charles Dickens back in action, and he'll be looking to get that win under the belt. And looking forward to that race. Graeme, how are you doing? And how's everything going your side? Looking forward to this, probably the last feature race down in the Cape.
Yeah, it's going to be a fabulous weekend. Lots happening at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth, both in terms of festivals and seafood racing festivals and wonderful horses running. I mean, just to see Captain's Ransom and Charles Dickens again on the same card, both of them are prohibitive odds of 3 to 10. But just to see them in action in their respective races adds a lot of quality and a lot of excitement to what is the curtain closer of the Cape Summer season. They've done a fantastic job. Well done to the whole team, and I'm really looking forward to the day.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to a great day's racing at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth on Saturday. Do take note that Pick 6, which begins in race number 4, there is a 500,000 Rand carryover, a likely pool of 3 million. And then race number 7, the Quartet, 100,000 Rand carryover and a likely pool of 500,000. Now, race number 1, 1,200 meters a distance. The bar part does not begin in race number 1 as it is a 10-race program. And when we have a look at the field, quite a competitive lineup assemble for this race over 1,200 meters. Your fixed odds betting market has horse number 3, USA's Hope, top in the boards at 3 to 1. 4 to 1 about Proud Master, Captain Bombshell, 9 to 2 Barcelona, and then it's 8 to 1 and better bar those. Now, USA's Hope, 2 from 2 over course and distance. One is penultimate start, shed in the maiden. Last time out, back-to-back out the maidens. 53.5 kgs on the back. Certainly a horse that's on the up and can go well. But I like the look of Proud Master in this lineup, Graeme. I thought he ran quite a nice race behind Let It Burn. I think Let It Burn is possibly a slightly better horse at this point in time over USA's Hope. And 2.5 kg is not a concern for me. I think he'll run well for Sean Veal and Dennis Dreyer.
Certainly Proud Master is one of the principals in the race. I'll come back to Proud Master and Captain Bombshell in a moment, but let's just touch on USA's Hope. As you say, he's won his last 2. He's unbeaten as a gelding. He's unbeaten over track and trip. So you'd like to think that this progressive 3-year-old will be tough to beat, carrying 53.5. The form of his last run was done no favours in the week when both Swift Action and Fell Skun didn't really frank that form. So there's still a few question marks around USA's Hope, but he is progressive. He represents the Keegan DeMello Dean Canamere combination owned by the Kaya Stables. So obviously he will go well, and he is the early market leader and a very competitive handicap. My top choice is Captain Bombshell. My second choice is Proud Master. My third choice is USA's Hope. And my fourth choice is Barcelona. Not much to choose between Captain Bombshell and Proud Master. But Captain Bombshell, like USA's Hope, is a 3-year-old. Comes with a big reputation. He did comfortably beat Proud Master on the 7th of December. Proud Master could have needed that run as progression, so it should be a lot closer between the two of them. It's a tough start to the day's racing. It doesn't form part of the exotics, as you've mentioned, but a nice race to try and catch the quartet. 6, 2, 3, and 5 would be my top 4. Healthy respect, though, for number 9, Ragnar Lothbrok. That's the one that you need to throw in your trifecta and quartet calculations, with Ashton Harry's up and carrying just 52.5. He's possibly better over 1,000 meters, but as he gets older, this 1,200 meters should be within his compass. So I do have a bit of respect for Ragnar Lothbrok as a bit of a roughie. But my first choice is Captain Bombshell. Yours is Proud Master. They're both of USA's Hope to beat.
Yeah, absolutely. Horse number 3, Dean Canamere, Keegan DeMello. They'll be looking to start the day off on a high with USA's Hope. But Graeme, has he mentioned number 6 for him and horse number 2, Proud Master, for myself. So maybe some exacta box with those 3 horses in race number 1. Now, race number 2 on the program, which is going to be run over this 2,000 meter trip. And this is a listed event. 12:40 is the time you need to get your bets on. Race 2 is the start of the bye pot. And we see Silver Lynx in action here, and Silver Lynx has certainly been quite impressive ever since winning that maiden. She's won her last 2 starts, and she's gone up 9 points for winning those runs. She's drawn in gate number 4, and obviously last time out she beat Hold My Hand. Now Hold My Hand, she was weighted to win the race. She looked to be probably the best bet on the card, but to be quite honest, she failed to put the record straight on that occasion. She's still a one-time winner. Keegan DeMello gets aboard this time out for the Glen Cotton team. Do you possibly think that she could turn the form around with Silver Lynx, given that Silver Lynx is on the up and has the confidence on her side?
Yeah, obviously there was very little to choose between them last time in the Clapham Stakes. They meet on exactly the same terms. That was over 1,800 metres. They go 2,000 metres. The 2,000 metres will be right up Silver Lynx alley. She is the marginal favourite, but hold my hand. As you say, that was her race to lose last time, and although running on very strongly from the back of the field, she showed that a current rating of 108 is possibly a little on the high side, so she's probably flattered by the best weighted column. The form book suggests there's absolutely nothing to choose between Silver Lynx and Hold My Hand. I do think, though, that number 9 Gold Poker Game is very much alive as well. She's a very decent daughter of Gold Standard, so you can't ignore her. She'll be very much at home over this track and trip. And then the fourth choice would be number 7, Love is a Rose. But I've gone with all three in the opening leg of the bipod, just in case. I've included all of Silver Lynx, Hold My Hand, and Gold Poker Game. My narrow first choice would be Silver Lynx to confirm the form of the Clapham Stakes, but there should be nothing to choose between them. An interesting race, and again, pace will be a huge factor.
Yeah, absolutely. Horse number 9, Gold Poker Game from the Candice Bass Robinson yard. Aldo de Meyer for Drakenstein Star. They'll be looking and hoping that they can get this one home. But no doubt, number 4, Silver Lynx, possibly the one that they all have to beat here. She's on the up, and she's certainly improving quite quickly, and the Studios daughter of Silvano will absolutely love stepping back up to 2,000 meters. Race number 3 on the program, the start of the place accumulator, 1,400 meters the distance, and this is a grade 3. 1:15 is the time you need to get those PA bets on, and we see the superstar Captain's Ransom back in action. She's a 5-year-old daughter of Captain Al. She's a 13-time winner from 18 outings, a multiple graded winner, pole position draw. Last time out, Desert Miracle just had a number over 1,600 meters, beaten behind the quite talented 3-year-old Make It Snappy in that penultimate start. But Graeme, this looks to be her race to lose. She has this field held, and I'd be surprised if she were to find one too good on the day.
No, she looks about as good a thing as you can ever find in horse racing, and she's drawn in gate 1. I expressed this view the last time when she sat back behind Desert Miracle. I really hope that they ride her aggressively. There's no reason why she can't win this race start to finish. Let her stride from the inside gate. She's shown that she can sprint against the best in the land. She won 2 Group 1 sprints last season. And this 1,400 meters should be nothing more than an exercise canter for her. That should be, obviously, I'm not quite sure what the future plans are for Captain's Ransom, whether she is headed towards KwaZulu-Natal for another crack at the season, or whether this is a swan song. But it's great to have her in action on Derby Day. She's a natural bipod and place accumulator banker. There is no logical reason to look beyond her for the winner. The race is on for second, but Captain's Ransom does look home and hosed.
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking forward to Captain's Ransom, seeing her in action, and we'll be certainly looking forward to seeing her notch up that 14th career victory and being led in by the Fullions. Richard Fourie, Justin Snake teaming up here, and Captain's Ransom, a banker in all bets. Now, race number 4 on the program, the start of the pick 6, got a carryover in that pick 6. This is the Bloodstock SA Sales Cup for the fillies over 1,200 meters. Quite a few nice horses on show here. 13.50 is the time you need to get those pick 6 bets on. Place accumulator wise for me, I've just gone with 2 horses here. That's numbers 4 and 9. Those are the 2 horses that top the betting boards. Kailami Girl has found support into 22 to 10, and then Golden Sickle is at around 5 to 2 in the market. Kailami Girl, quite a nice run on debut behind Sidley. That's the Justin Snake runner. Aldo de Meyer in the irons this time out for Candice Bass Robinson, and then number 9 Golden Sickle, a very nice run last time out, possibly doing the best work at the finish behind Raskova, who won quite a nice race on Met Day. Richard Fourie aboard for the Snake team. Graeme, for you, those 2 set the standard?
Yes, they do. Look, races 4, 5 and 6 on this card. The Bloodstock SA Sales Cup for fillies, then the Bloodstock SA Sales Cup for the colts, and then, of course, the nursery. Races 4, 5 and 6 all for 2-year-olds. Now, we saw in the past that 2-year-old races can produce upset results and can be quite challenging. They're still very young. They're still very early in their career. They make rapid improvement from one run to the next. but I'm going to rely on all three of these races on the exposed form to get us through. So, yes, my first choice would be number 4, Kailami Girl. Karari is a perennial top sire of 2-year-olds. Eye-catching debut, should improve further. Golden Sickle, obvious claims. My third choice would be number 12, the Charleston. And then I do have healthy respect for number 10, Luna Halo. Alan Greif knows what it takes to win 2-year-old races here in the Western Cape. I haven't included Luna Halo in my bipod and my place accumulator, but certainly from a pick 6 point of view, this is the first leg of the carryover pick 6. You've got to include the 2-year-old daughter of Fire Away as well. So 4, 9, 12, and 10 are my top 4 choices. Those are the 4 that I'm going to rely on to get me through the first leg of the place accumulator. If you're looking beyond that, if you want to go a little wider, in the pick 6 I'm referring to, number 3, Oni San, makes some appeal, as does number 11, Royals. And Blue Holly was too bad to be true last time out, but she looks well held by Kailami Girl. So I'm going to rely on Kailami Girl to step up on that very promising debut. 4, Kailami Girl from 9, Golden Sickle, 12, the Charleston. But healthy respect for the Port Elizabeth Raiders. Difficult to know what to make of her, what to expect of her, but Alan Greif, as I said, he knows what it takes to win 2-year-old races here. So number 10, Luna Halo, has got to go into all calculations as well.
Luna Halo trading at around 9-2 in the market. If you're looking for a bit of cover with the top 2, then possibly include horse number 10, 2-year-old daughter of Fire Away. But for Graeme and myself, horse number 4, Kailami Girl, the top choice. Race number 5 on the program, 1,200 meters the distance, this time for the Colts and Geldings. And Graeme, as you mentioned, it's another race where we're looking for a form result here. The horses that do set the standard in black and white are the ones that top the betting boards here. Speeding Bullet, 7-2, along with Outlaw King. And then 6-1 about Accept Temptation. Accept Temptation and Outlaw King, both runners that won on debut. I was quite impressed the way Outlaw King won. I thought it was a comfortable victory, beating Zumi by 2 lengths. And then Accept Temptation showed lots of guts and courage to get the better of Teflon Man. And I'm sure Dean Kanemayer will have a fair line on Teflon Man and Outlaw King. So, yeah, I'm sure he's looking to see Outlaw King back in action. And then, of course, number 7, Speeding Bullet, 25-1. Last time out, third behind a Golden Tajana, a horse that will be looking to bounce back to winning ways here.
Yeah, it's a good race, this Bloodstock South Africa Sales Cup for the Colts and Geldings. It's the second leg of the pick 6, also the first leg of the first jackpot. My top choice, I was also very taken with number 10, Outlaw King. I think the 2-year-old son of Rafif, he looked a little special on debut when drawing clear to beat Zumi. He meets Zumi again on exactly the same terms. He should hold Zumi. That was Zumi's second run. That was Outlaw King's first run. So they both will make improvement, but you would think that Outlaw King should again have his measure. So Outlaw King would be my top choice. I do have a healthy respect for Speeding Bullet. He's done enough. You ignore the Richard Faree, Justin Snaith combination at your peril. Accept Temptation. I was more impressed with Outlaw King than I was with Accept Temptation. But, of course, he won on debut, beating another, as you mentioned, another Kanemayer runner in Teflon Man. Now, of course, Accept Temptation must have plenty of scope for further improvement as well. So, 10, Outlaw King for me, ahead of 7, Speeding Bullet, 3, Accept Temptation, and 4, Zumi. Those 4 need to go into the pick 6. If you can include one more, although he should be held, I still think that number 15, Press On Regardless, has scope for improvement. He was beaten under a length by Accept Temptation last time, so he's very much in the race. So if you're going wider than those 4, then number 15, Press On Regardless. He was a beaten favourite when racing last time, but these 2-year-olds can improve. He's not out of the reckoning, but I was very impressed with Outlaw King. I'm expecting him to follow up.
Outlaw King, all eyes on him, this 2-year-old son of Rafif, and we, Graeme and myself, hoping that he can make it 2 from 2 in race number 5, which is the start of Jackpot 1. Moving along to race number 6, which is the City of Cape Town, Cape of Good Hope Nursery, a grade 3 event over 1,200 meters. And often this race throws up quite a few nice horses, and I think yet again we've got some nice horses on show. We've got the fillies taking on the boys, and a race that certainly looks to be an exciting contest. Now, Graeme, you've gone with number 10, Gimme Lightning, as your top choice. He's at 2-1 in the market. I think it's a bit wider than that. I've gone with horses 2, 3, 8, and 10. That's the Abdicator, Golden Tajana, horse number 8, Teflon Man, and then horse number 10, Gimme Lightning. But take us through your thought process about horse number 10, 2-year-old son of Gimme the Green Light.
Yeah, it's a cracking race, this, and for 750,000 rand, no quarter given, no quarter asked. It's a very rich 2-year-old race early in the season. I've gone with number 10, Gimme Lightning, as one of my suggested bipod bankers, Captain's Ransom being the other. I just think that he caught them a little bit by surprise when winning on debut over 900 meters. On that occasion, he beat Icy Blast. He meets Icy Blast here again. Then he ran over 1,000 meters, obviously on King's Plate Day, running second behind Golden Tajana, but running on very, very nicely. I really believe that over 1,200 meters, he's going to be even more progressive, and I think he must rate the one to beat. Am I super, super, super confident? Well, it's a 2-year-old race. Others can improve, but I'm going to row in with number 10, Gimme Lightning. 8, Teflon Man, could be anything. It's going to be interesting to see how Accept Temptation runs in race 5. It doesn't help us, obviously, from a permutation point of view when you're talking about bipods and place accumulators, jackpots and pick sixes and so on. But obviously, if Accept Temptation runs really well in race 5, that'll enhance the chances of the grey son of Kirari, Teflon Man. And Dean Caname has obviously wanted to keep Outlaw King and Teflon Man apart in these 2 races. The Abdicator was too bad to be true last night. He's got to improve on that. Winter Cloud, she's assisted to Clouds Unfold. So Winter Cloud could be anything and can continue to improve. Golden Tajana's got all the form in the world. Icy Blast benefited from blinkers last time out, and that was over 1,000 meters. He could be even better over 1,200. And then, of course, Raskova, who surprised everybody but her connections on Met Day. So Raskova's already got a feature race win behind her. So it's very competitive. 10, 8, 11 would be my top 3. Gimme Lightning, Teflon Man, and Raskova. And then little to choose between Winter Cloud and Distant Winter, the stable companion, also very promising Distant Winter. But then, of course, you've got Golden Tajana, the Abdicator, Icy Blast. A very, very strong race. But I'm relying on the fact that Gimme Lightning is really going to enjoy stepping up to 1,200 meters. I may be way off the mark.
Yeah, horse number 2, the Abdicator, I thought his last run was too bad to be true. He was a favourite on that occasion and he ran a poor race, 5 lengths behind Raskova. I think he's a lot better than that. I think he's a horse that's got lots of potential, and I thought he could possibly bounce back to some of his better form here. Graeme, just touching on the Dean Caname runner, Teflon Man. Obviously, you mentioned that Dean Caname was keen to keep them apart. Interesting that Teflon Man is going for the grade 3, whereas he ran second on debut. Outlaw King won, and he's going for the Bloodstock South Africa sales race. Do you think possibly Teflon Man didn't qualify for that race, or just what Dean Caname thinks of the 2?
Yeah, I'm not sure that Teflon Man was eligible to race in the Bloodstock South Africa Sales Cup race, which is limited to graduates of the Bloodstock South Africa Sales. So Teflon Man might well have been bought at the CTA sale. I don't have that information directly in front of me because obviously then the nursery would have been his only choice. But to be absolutely honest with you, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm certain that Dean is happy that they're not running against each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Race number 6, grade 3, over 1,200 meters. It's going to be a cracking contest. Tune in at 3:05. Race number 7, which is the Splash Out Jetmaster Stakes, a listed event over 1,600 meters. This is an absolute mouth-watering contest. 15:40 is the time you need to get involved in those jackpot 2 bets. And it's a field of quality. We've got a grade 1 winner, Lomeran's King's Plate winner, Al Mutana in this race. He tops betting boards with Silvano's Dasher, both at 11-2. It's 6-1 about Warrior, 8-1 about Pakai, who's found continuous support all week long, 16-1 down 8-1. Along with Imelenze Yokududuma, 14-1 down 8-1. Universal Nexus all at 8-1, and then it's 14-1 and better bar those. Now, Graeme, I was just chatting to you off air. Al Mutana, when going through the race, I thought he posed as a potential banker, given that he's a multiple grade 1 winner over 1,600 meters, 1-from-1 over course and distance. He's neatly drawn in gate number 2. He won the King's Plate in that penultimate start. And I think he's a horse that obviously he's got to be ready for the occasion, and the negative is that he's got to give weight away, but he's a class package in the lineup.
Absolutely, it is a class package, but this is a fantastic renewal of the Splash Out Jetmaster Stakes. As you say, a lot of depth. You've got to respect Al Mutana as a multiple grade 1 winner, and he's cracked the inside gate. And the draw is going to be critical to the outcome because there are a couple of fancied runners that are drawn extremely wide. One of the reasons that I've taken a chance with bankering Gimme Lightning in the previous race in the bipod is that I wanted to go really wide here. But clearly El Mutana is the one to beat. He's rated to win the race. I don't believe he's a 133, so I don't believe he's rated 9 points clear of the opposition, as suggested by the best rated column. I think, he was given a very, very tough penalty in terms of a rating hike after winning the King's Plate, beating, Jet Dark and Comedy Dung, who were both racing over 1,600 meters. I think both of those two horses preferred 2,000 meters, as we saw in the WSB Cape Met. So I take his rating with a pinch of salt, but there's no doubt that El Matana is the one to beat. And if he puts his best foot forward, then he's going to make his presence felt in a big way. Pakaya priced up at 16 to 1. That was the wrong price. He's carrying 51. He's cracked the inside gate. He had a very good run behind Sylvana's Dasher last time, and he could well beat Sylvana's Dasher this time round. But, of course, luck in running is going to play a big part here because it's a large field. Imalenzi, Yokoda Duma's got a chance. Warrior, Free and Justin Snaith, that has a chance. Universal is fancy to go well here. Then you've got Sylvana's Dasher. Last season's Guineas winner, Zapatilla's drawn out at 14. Quasi for sure, like Bakaya, carrying 51, but Drawning Gate 15. Nexus, Drawning Gate 16. So, gates numbers 13, 14, 15, and 16 are all occupied by horses that could win a race of this nature, but the draw is not in their favor. So I've just gone very wide. El Matana, the one to beat. Pakaya is my lurker in the pack, but I've put 7 horses into the bipod, as you will see later on.
2, 4, 15 and 16 for me, and if you're looking for one more horse, then certainly number 1 Pakaya, as he is better off as at the weights with horse number 4 Imalenze Yokududuma on their last outing. But horse number 16 Nexus is a horse that I'm not going to discount from the mix. Pierre Striker Stratum, he won from draw 16 on him a couple years ago when he won the Peninsula Handicap, and if anyone can do it from a deep draw, it is certainly Pierre Stratum, and he rides Nexus. He gets on well with the 7-year-old son of Dynasty, and he's in some cracking form. But it's going to be a top contest and a race over 1,600 meters. I'm sure that we'll all be tuned to our TV screens and our monitors watching and looking forward to seeing who comes out trumps in race number 7. Now, race number 8 is the race that we're all looking forward to. Possibly not the race of the day, but Charles Dickens is in action here, and he is priced up at around 3 to 10 in the market now. This race is over 2,000 meters. There's obviously question marks whether he'll stay the trip, but lots of confidence from Candice Bass-Robinson suggesting that she sees no issue with him seeing out 2,000 meters, 400 meters more than his last race, which was the Lomeran's King's Plate. And Graeme, every time I look at the Hollywoodbets Durban July anti-post market, he had opened up at around 7 to 2, and every time I look, he keeps on shortening. He's trading around 22 to 10, so I'm sure that the guys are just playing multiples and getting the lot into the July, and hopefully he gets his place in the July, and hopefully they actually go for the race. But in this lineup here, no doubt he's a standout. He's the best weighted. He's by far clear of the second best, which is At My Command on a 104. When we have a look at the best weighted column, he's rated a 132, 4 points after his last start. My head tells me Charles Dickens will win this by a street, but the horse that I'm obviously going to go with a bit of cover in another pick 6 is going to be horse number 11, Rockpool. I think he's a smashing son of Futura. He's going to love the step up in trip to 2,000 meters. He's obviously rated quite badly when you have a look at Charles Dickens' rating, but I think he's a horse with tons of ability. He's probably a lot better than his current mark, and I think he'll run well. But Charles Dickens, the horse that many are going to bank on the day.
Yeah, I'm not looking for any cover. I'm not running for cover. For me, it's a one-horse contest. Number 2, Charles Dickens, the Splash Out Cape Derby, Grade 1, 2,000 meters. His full brother Charles ran second in this race a couple of years ago, and his half-brother Somerset Maugham has won over testing ground, so there's no doubt in my mind he'll see out the 2,000 meters. You've got to put his defeat in the King's Plate into perspective. He was beaten narrowly by El Mutana, who had already won the Hollywoodbets Gold Challenge during the season. He beat Jet Dark. He beat Comedy Dung. Prior to that, he dealt with all of his 3-year-old rivals with contemptuous ease, and I'm expecting more of the same tomorrow. I don't see any dangers. It should be a one-horse race. I'm expecting him to come home lonely. The race is on for the minor money. My second choice would be number 4, At My Command. My third choice, number 11, Rock Pool. And my fourth choice, number 8, Without Question. Not much to choose between. Without Question, who's 25 to 1, and Rock Pool is 5 to 1 on the evidence of their Politician Stakes run. But I'm expecting At My Command to be second best ahead of the two Snaith runners. Bit of a record here for Nick Johnson to have 6 horses as owner, 6 horses in the Grade 1 race. I'm sure that is a South African record, but Charles Dickens should comfortably win the Derby. And just with an eye on the Hollywoodbets Durbanville, of course, 3-year-olds are offered some protection, whatever rating. They can't be set to carry more than 57 kilograms. So that's certainly in Charles Dickens' favour when you're looking ahead. But that's a long way off. Let's let him win the Derby first.
Absolutely. Horse number 9, Seed Again, is going to be ridden by Pierce Striker Stratum, and number 9, Seed Again, I think it's the nice Ruffy, 4 trifectas and quartets. He absolutely flew home last time out in the Gold Rush behind Royal Aussie, 400 to finish in a time of 23.2, so he's a horse to include into the minor money. But clear the runway for the champion, Charles Dickens. He's a superstar horse, 6 wins from 7 outings, and this 3-year-old son of Trippy, Candice Bass Robinson, Elder Demare, they'll be looking to bring this one home into the winner's enclosure and get the Cape Derby, the Grade 1 over 2,000 meters. Race number 9 on the program, which is a Grade 2 over 1,200 meters, the Kaya Stables Diadem Stakes. And the Kaya Stables are represented by Gimme a Prince here, and Gimme a Prince is in some top form at this point in time. He's a 5-time winner from 7 outings. He's on a mark of 123, gone up the 9 points for winning his last start. 22 to 10 into 14 to 10. Rio Karari at 7 to 2. It's 7 to 1 Triple Fortune, We're Jamming, and then it's 16 to 1 and better by those. Now, Graeme, I thought horse number 7, We're Jamming, could offer some nice value given that he is course and distance suited. He's better off at the weights with Gimme a Prince on his penultimate start. He's gone up to 2, whereas Gimme a Prince has gone up to 4. So he's 1.5 kgs better off. I know that both horses are improving, and perhaps the confidence is with number 4, Gimme a Prince. But I just feel as a 3-year-old, he's a horse that could do a bit of damage in the lineup. Last year, Cosmic Highway won the race as a 3-year-old. Triple Fortune running second. So I think We're Jamming could certainly give Gimme a Prince a big run for his money. So that's going to be the top choice, followed by number 7. But just 2 horses in the final leg of the PA for me.
You have every right to fancy number 7, We're Jamming. He's a course and distance specialist, 3 wins and a second from 4 starts. As you say, he's weighted to run very close to Gimme a Prince, and he's very much alive and offers good each-way value at 7 to 1. Of that, there is no doubt. And I wouldn't be surprised if he did beat Gimme a Prince. Gimme a Prince, though, every time you talk to Keegan DeMello about Gimme a Prince, his eyes light up. There's a lilt in his voice. He's obviously very much in love with Gimme a Prince, and when you listen to Keegan, it's almost he's trying to tell us we haven't seen anywhere near the best of Gimme a Prince. His win in the Cape Flying Championship over the minimum trip was spectacular. He did beat Rio Karari narrowly, and Rio Karari came to challenge him, and Gimme a Prince found more in the closing stages. So yes, Gimme a Prince for me is a top choice. But having said that, the one you mentioned, number 7, We're Jamming, the former champion sprinter, number 11, Rio Karari, he needs to show that he's now back to his best, that he's going to be consistent, and this is going to be an acid test for Rio Karari to show whether the last race was just a flash in the pan, or is he back to his old self. And then even number 3, Triple Fortune, he's a top horse. Forget about his King's Plate run. He's a top horse. His course and distance form is good, and he'll run well. So I'm going with number 4, Gimme a Prince, to win it, ahead of number 11, Rio Karari, number 7, We're Jamming, and number 3, Triple Fortune. I cannot see the winner coming from outside of that quartet. I think Gimme a Prince will be hard to beat. Smaller punters might want to take a chance and banker him, but I'm going to include, I'm going to play various perms, but I'm going to include all of Triple Fortune, Gimme a Prince, We're Jamming, Rio Karari. But as you said, We're Jamming is certainly weighted to run very close to Gimme a Prince. It should be a very, very good race.
Horse number 4, Gimme a Prince, the one that they all have to set their sights on here, and he's looking for 3 in a row, and he's looking to make it 6 wins from 8 outings. But horse number 7 perhaps offers some decent value at around 7 to 1 in the market for the Justin Snaith and Richard Fourie combination. Race number 10, 1,200 meters a distance, and it is the work riders taking on the jockeys here. 20 past 5 is the time you need to get your bets on for the lucky last on the card. And yeah, it's good to see that they put in on events for the work riders to take on the jockeys. I think last year it was won by the Tinkerman, if I remember correctly. Keegan DeMello and Vaughan Marshall teaming up on that occasion. Keegan is on the favourite here, Hawk Circle at 13-10. Mighty Mac is at 17-10. It's then 7-1 and better by those. Now, I thought Mighty Mac could possibly turn the form around with Hawk Circle based on their last start. Aldo Mayer gets the board for Paul Reeves. Hawk Circle has had 6 starts, whereas Mighty Mac has only had the 2 starts, and he's run fair races in both those outings. So I think he could run well, and it would be the top choice for me at 17-10. But Graeme, for you, how do you see race number 10 unfolding?
Well, firstly, I think the work riders must feel aggrieved at the draw because Keegan de Mello has drawn Hawk Circle and Aldo de Meyer has drawn Mighty Mac, and these two look set to dominate the outcome. The winner should certainly come from one of those two, as you've mentioned. Not much to choose between Hawk Circle and Mighty Mac. I'm not going to try and split them. They were very close to each other in their last start behind Kibo Nalaseri. If you're playing Jackpot 2, and this is the last leg of Jackpot 2, then I would just include both numbers 5, Hawk Circle, and number 6, Mighty Mac. But I'm going to include one other, and that's one of the work riders, number 2, Captain Casanova. He had his first start as a gelding. There was a lot of money for him. He was backed in from 14-1 to 33-10. He got going in the race very late. Keegan de Mello was aboard him that time, and he closed rapidly. Wasn't the greatest of maiden fields, to be fair, with going down by Kennedy, but clearly the gelding has improved. And if Mr. Nkunzi can get the best out of number 2, Captain Casanova, he might have the potential to upset the top 2 in the market. So in the final leg of Jackpot 2, I'm going to include the obvious 2, number 5, Hawk Circle, and number 6, Mighty Mac. But I'm going to throw in number 2, Captain Casanova as well, just in case there is a turn-up for the books, because that would certainly elevate the potential dividend of Jackpot 2. But yes, not much to choose between Hawk Circle and Mighty Mac. Keegan de Mello and Aldo de Meyer going head-to-head. So, yeah, you could be right. Mighty Mac might be able to reverse the order with Hawk Circle. He's far less exposed than Hawk Circle. But last time was the first time that Hawk Circle had raced with blinkers, and that might have woken him up a little bit. So, for me, nothing to choose between 5 and 6. My third choice, number 2, Captain Casanova, I'm going to throw that into the play as well.
Yeah, the jockeys certainly seem to have this race all to themselves. So will it be the work riders who have something up the sleeve and will be looking to cause the upset in race number 10? Now we're going to move along to the suggested bet part of the show, and Graeme will take us through his suggested bet. And Graeme, your suggested bet, take it away.
My part, starting race 2 off at 12.40. First leg, taking no chances. I should comfortably get through and probably double up. Number 4, Silver Links. Number 8, Hold My Hand. Number 9, Gold Poker Game. Second leg, Confident Banker, unbeaten over Track and Trip. Number 1, Captain's Ransom at 3-10. Don't have to be a rocket scientist to work that out. Third leg, the first of the 3 2-year-old races. I'm going with numbers 4, Kyalami Girl, 9, Golden Sickle, and 12, the Charleston. This is in the bipod, pick 6 a little wider. Fourth leg of the bipod, I'm going with numbers 3, Accept Temptation, 7, Speeding Bullet, and 10, Outlaw King. Then in the penultimate leg, I'm bankering number 10, Gimme Lightning, a leap of faith that is going to be even better over 1,200 meters. So I'm bankering number 10, Gimme Lightning, and I'm doing that because I need 7 horses in the last leg of the bipod. Although El Mathana wouldn't surprise me to see him absolutely doddle this despite having to carry top weight. He's well drawn. I'm going to cover him with numbers 1, Pakaya, 2, El Matana, 4, Imalensi Yokadajuma, 8, Universal, 13, Silvano's Dasher, 14, Zapatias, and 15, Quasi for sure. So I'm throwing all 7 of those into the final leg of the bipod. Full unit will cost you 189.
Yeah, thanks to Graeme for his bipod there. My place accumulator, and just going through this, leg 1, banker number 1, followed by 4 and 9, by 3, 7, 10, by 2, 3, 8, 10, by 2, 4, 15, 16, by banker horse number 2, Charles Dickens, by 4 and 7 in the final leg of that place accumulator. Graeme, thank you very much for your insight into racing at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth on Saturday. All the best. Have a good weekend.
Thank you very much, Rahiel. As always, a pleasure, and I'm sure the professional punters will be into that double, Captain's Ransom and Charles Dickens, and be happy to take whatever price that works out to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Captain's Ransom, Charles Dickens, the 2 banker bets on the card, and we're looking to see both return to the winner's enclosure. Thanks to Graeme for all of his insight into racing at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth on Saturday. All the best, guys. Hopefully you find all the winners and make lots of cash.